Absolutely, totally. Yes, welcome back to my channel, guys. Most people use fair value gap wrong. Basically, in this video, I will show you, share you, and demonstrate you how to use fair value gap trading strategy to start making profits. But the thing is this, that most people use the fair value gap wrong. Also, at the end of the video, I will give you some free treat. Yes, at the end of the video, you will be able to get my fair value gap automated indicator. Basically, the indicator which is going to be completely for free. We can put in a chart and it's going to show you the fair value gap. So, but let's first of all dig in. What is fair value gap? How can you make profits with the fair value gap? Okay, first of all, guys, okay, if you're new to the trading, then you know that fair value gap is very, very similar. Yes, it's very, very similar to SR, support and resistance. But the fair value gap is not simply similar to support resistance. Fair value gap is showing us, it's helping us to identify support and resistance zones, not the line of support and resistance, but the zones in which price could go in and wobble around before breaking out either on upside or downside. That's it. So yes, you can say that fair value gaps, or FVG, are very, very similar to support and resistance. Now, but how it looks like, how to actually, make profit with this, and how actually we can find these on a charts. So first of all, let's dig in, okay? So fair value gap trading strategy, okay? So there are a couple of things you need to do. But again, don't overcomplicate your trading. As you know, there's no magic in trading, as long as you follow the rules. So step number one, identify the imbalance. So look for the 3 consecutive candles that create fair value gap. Second, like you can see on the picture right here, this is really, really beautiful example. We're gonna look at this example, then we're gonna look into the live charts to see how this will look in real life to make real profits, okay? But before that, we need to just understand, what are these and how it looks like. So first thing we understand, fair value gaps are similar to support and resistance zones. Great, great. Then what we do is, step number one, we look for 3 consecutive candles that create fair value gap. Then the price leaves the gap. A strong candle moves away, leaving an inefficient price zone. For example, here we can see 1, 2, 3 candle, then the one big candle out of a sudden, and then the price, the big candle is being created by the price action for really quickly. Then price reacts and then it continues its way down. But see this big candle, okay? We can distinguish this candle and we can name this candle as basically fair value gap zone. So then what happens? Wait for the retest. The price comes back to the gap area. This is your opportunity. So price breaks out on the downside, then goes back in, okay? That's the retest zone. Before going back into the fair value gap, it basically, it tests the zones. Basically, what means testing the zone? Basically means that the price goes and touches this fair value gap again. What you can notice is that price breaks down, comes back up, and then tests this fair value gap zone, like it's touching it, like, wants to move in. Now, the problem is this. The most people are entering the buy, for example, this here's fair value gap, okay? Price test this, and people are entering buy trades whenever it goes kind of in. That's wrong, because what could happen in real life is it could test this, and then price could fall down. So it means that you're gonna hit your stop loss, or even if you're a newbie trader and don't use stop loss, then it's a guaranteed that you're gonna blow your account up. So the retest zone and the retest place is not where you enter the trade. I'm going to show you where you enter the trade. So the best entry for the fair value gap in this example is the bullish buy trade fair value gap. So we identify the fair value gap. Okay, then the price breaks through this. Okay, like a resistance, not a line, not a resistance line, but resistance zone, breaks through an upside, then goes down, retests that zone, and then it continues to go back up. But the problem is that the price has to break through the fair value gap first, then it has to retest it, not retesting it before the actual breakout. Okay, so that's the common mistake. Why more common people are using using it completely wrong. So we don't enter this buy trade right here. What we would do is we would wait for the price to break through this fair value gap, then come back, retest, and then it should continue its way back up, and then that's how we make profits from this fair value gap trade. Now, in the real example, let me just show you. So, in the real example, let me just go back quickly to the basics. Okay, I'm gonna you can understand everything. So, fair value gap. So we can see, for example, price. These are the candlesticks going up. Then out of a sudden we see a big candlestick going up. Then again we see candlesticks, okay, going, kind of consolidating, and then again going up. See, what do we see here? This is our fair value gap right here. This big candle broke through out of a sudden, boom, then went back down to retest that previous candle high before it's continuing its way up. That retest after the breakout is our entry for the buy trade. I know this was ultra basic explanation, guys, but that's the thing. Okay, don't overcomplicate your trading. So let's take a look at the real life example candles. So here we can see that price kind of went down with these three candles, 1, 2, 3. Then out of a sudden, one big candle. And then we see that the next candle is red again. What's happening here? See, what's happening here is that this next red candle just touched it here. So when you place a line between this candle and the previous candle, see, we have this gap. This is the fair value gap. Now tell me, where should I enter the trade, and what trade should I enter? Well, based on explanation that I just explained you, if this is our fair value gap because of this big candle, next candle retested this line. So this is our fair value gap. Or we would go for, yes, for buy trade. Breakout, retest, breakout, retest. So breakout, retest. Imagine this is like a breakout of a resistance. And what happens when a resistance is broken? Yes, it becomes support. And so we would place buy trade in here. Take profit at the next previous high. I would take profit earlier right here. Just if it was a scalping trade. And our stop loss would be a little bit below the fair value gap. Again, it's just an example, and let's see how it looks like in real life. Boom, nice. Take profit now. Again, always, guys, remember that if you use fair value gap, this will be mostly for scalping trades, for quick trades. So make sure that you use these 3 time frames: either 15-minute time frame, 1-hour time frame, or 4-hour time frame. Now, here's the treat. If you watched this video so far, congratulations, because I will give you completely for free my Andrews Fair Value Gap TradingView Indicator, completely for free. And this indicator, basically, you're gonna put it on the charts, click, and it's gonna show you these fair value gaps automatically. Okay. For example, this was the fair value gap, so the price broke through, retested. So what would be this trade? Tell me, guys, if you see this, what would you do? Yes, you would enter sell trade, so breakdown on a downside, breakout on a downside, retest, entry, sell trade, boom. So guys, if you want to get a free value gap indicator, simply click on the first link below the video and join my free Telegram. That's it. Join my free Telegram and send me your TradingView username. That's it, and I'm gonna put your username and you will get access to this free TradingView Fair Value Gap Andrews indicator. This indicator is modified, so this indicator is a combination between several other fair value gap indicators to make sure that it's accurate as much as possible, as well as it's going to give you the label on the time frame. So this is an hourly, for example. Do you want free fair value gap indicator and start practicing this right now? Then simply go to my free Telegram and send me your Telegram username, and I will just add you completely for free, and you will get free lifetime access. I love you all, guys, and thank you for subscribing, and don't overcomplicate your trading. Always remember that most profits comes from waiting. I love you all. See you on the next side. Bye bye.